This is the slow season for politics. MPs and MLAs back home for the holidays, visiting with family and constituents, of course. So given that, this week's political panel, well, it's going to look ahead. Not at the current situation, not back, but ahead. Derek Fildebrandt is everywhere. You just saw him in a story. He's in our newsroom tonight. He's the Alberta Director for the Canadian Taxpayers Federation. And Brian Singh is a local pollster and strategist. Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year. It's good to be back.
Okay, so let's look at the year to come. Brian, what will you be watching for on the federal front in 2014?
I'm going to be looking at two things, and they both center around setting the table for 2015. Well, amongst the Conservatives, we're going to be seeing them trying to prepare for coming good on their promises in terms of maybe slashing some of the budgets of various government departments, but also they're going to be starting to target the new Canadians and immigrants to grow their base. We're also going to see a bit of a challenge going on between representation as well as partisanship. We see Michael Chong's Reform Act going to be coming up in the next couple of months, as well as in the Liberal Convention. We're also going to be seeing their democracy resolution.
And 2015, of course, key because the next federal election is set for 2015. Derek, what are you going to be watching for in Ottawa?
I'm watching for the Supreme Court of Canada case, the federal government's reference case regarding the Senate reform. What are the options? What's the formula necessary? Is it 7 plus 50, or is it unanimous? And for what reform or abolition scenarios? If the federal government really gets anything out of this, and it's really it's hard to tell at this point, but if there's any kind of path to reform or abolition, I think that there is a reasonable chance. We're going to roll the dice a bit here, but I think there's a reasonable chance they're going to grab onto that and put it forward to a referendum. They need to change the channel on the Senate scandal. They need to change the channel on the ethical scandals that are surrounding it, and people want some change on this front. So I think they want to. It'd be an interesting strategy for them to get a little risky and get out of their comfort zone, but that's all going to be pending the Supreme Court of Canada case.
Could be part of the ballot question in 2015. Okay, Brian, provincially, what are you watching?
Well, I'm going to leave Derek on the economy and pipelines, but I'm going to talk about the rise of the Wild Rose. I think that there have been a number of slip-ups by the Redford government, and so we're going to start to see the Wild Rose start to court big business more, but also there's starting to be a bit of a perceived weakness because Redford put Hughes in charge of the city's portfolio, so we're going to start to see them trying to make inroads there.
And Derek, you're talking pipelines?
Pipelines. Premier Redford has put all of her eggs in one basket. She's indicated that she is not going to be outright cutting spending. They're trying to hold the line on some spending increases right now, but they're not going to be cutting spending, and they're not going to be raising taxes. These are two things she's been pretty clear about. And if they hold to that, there's going to be no way for them to balance the budget unless a giant mattress full of money descends from the heavens, or if we get some serious pipelines built, and they're going to have to get built. Probably won't get built before the next election, but really pipelines are her only route to a balanced budget if she's not willing to budge from her line about not cutting spending or raising taxes.
Hey, if you come across that mattress, let me know. I'm in need of a little bit of cash.
I'm not telling you.
Yeah. 2013 saw a civic election. Nahid Nenshi secured another mandate. Brian, how's that going to play out in 2014?
The city charter is top of mind in Nahid and as well as Don Iverson's mind. But I think that there's going to be some conflict on that front because Redford has already said that she does not necessarily want to go down that road. So I would put money on her and Hughes starting to bribe the cities with some big projects. But I think one of the big things for Calgary is really need to get moving on housing, as well as stop some of the dragging of some of the approvals on affordable and attainable housing within the city.
And Derek, what do you have your eye on the municipal front?
You just couldn't help yourself, hey Brian? City charters is what I'm watching as well. This is the big municipal issue to watch. Now that the elections are over, both Nahid Nenshi and Don Iveson, as Brian said, are looking for new taxing powers from the province. The province has said, no, that's not going to happen, at least if it's going to mean a tax increase. The Premier was deadly serious, I think, during the election that she will not raise taxes, and handing them new taxing powers would break that promise. But Mayor Nenshi is not going away on this front. She's appointed a new, more conciliatory municipal affairs minister, Ken Hughes. It'll be interesting to see if they're going to bribe the cities to make them go away with either cash bribes or with new taxing powers. But I do think that something is afoot.
And the urban centers attracting more people every day. A lot of votes at play there in the next provincial election. Okay, gents, good start to 2014. See you next week.
It's a deal.
See you.
We are here every Thursday to talk about the big political news of the week, and if there's something that you think we should look into, it's early in the new year. We're waiting for topics to come into our inbox. You can email us at calgarynewstips@cbc.ca.